Hello,
so
hello.
This is the intro music.
This is the intro music. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and I am joined by my right-hand side man, Gabriel.
Now I'm on the left-hand side.
Now you're on the left-hand side. CYANIDE Paradise, who I've got on the show with me right now. They've just released that new single with some incredible news on the way. And right now I'm being joined by Lynn and Martin to share some stories about the music, share more info about the band. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for inviting us. And we love to be here.
Oh, why, thank you so much. You can thank Mike over at Hard Life Promotions. He's not just good looking, he's also really talented at his job and brings quality bands such as yourselves. So,
All right, let's go.
okay, coming back from the track Downfall, the brand new standalone single from CYANIDE Paradise, and immediately I was just struck in the soul with this song. I am a massive melodic death metal fan, and it kind of took me back to that. Oh man, I'm trying to think of like a Soilwork, Dark Tranquility kind of In Flames sound, and I dug it.
Cool, that's good to hear.
Glad to hear that, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, I'm curious, take us through this track. What is this track about? What is the Downfall? Is it coronavirus?
Ironically, it was released, just previous to it, but it's not directly. You could associate with that, but it's a bit of a story that we're writing with multiple of our songs. We have an ongoing storyline, and this is one of the parts about a man who's trying to defend what he loves. He's trying to not be a worse human being, so to speak.
Okay,
I think it's also a bit about the struggle between wanting to be the best version of yourself, but not always being able to. And I think that struggle is something that really is really something you see in the Downfall track. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I guess because the track is called Downfall, he's not really winning that struggle?
Yeah, that's also reflected in the choruses, because they sort of build up to the idea that we're going for in this in the song, and then the latest chorus actually concludes that he didn't win the battle with himself.
No.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sadly it is, but
that's exactly why the song's called Downfall.
No, this is terrible. So the next single will be called Upfall, and
who knows?
Uprising.
Uprising. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no down rising and an upfall.
Oh, downfall.
Isn't that kind of interesting? In English, we have to call it a downfall, as if falling was supposed to happen in a different direction.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Maybe if you turn gravity off, but
Yeah, otherwise it's a bit redundant. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could be falling up or we could be falling down, so we could release a track called Up Downfall.
Up, downfall.
yeah.
Exactly. Or like upside down. We don't say downside up. We say right side up. So how come it's not?
Yeah, that's true.
How come it's not left side down? And it's just, man, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, back to the music and the chorus and everything. So I'm curious, with regards to this struggle, is it anything in particular, or is it just a struggle? Like, is it drug addiction? Is it, what is it?
Yeah, that's a difficult one to describe, because it is partly multiple things. Well, we chose a specific version of a struggle to write the lyrics, but it is vague enough, at least for that we can use it for multiple things. It wasn't intended to be one very specific thing, but also not very broad. So it's like it's in between. You can choose to interpret it how you want, but if you want to read it for what it is about a specific struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the good things about the song is that, obviously, like we said, it's more of a part of a broader story, which started with the Reach for the Stars EP and is continuing during the next songs. And on the other side, the song can be seen on its own. if you talk about the struggle within yourself or within specific feelings. So it's really, it's got two sides to it.
Mm-hmm. Now, it sounds like you've alluded to more songs coming. So I guess my big question is, what was it about this track that said, okay, we've got the EP, Reach for the Stars, now let's release Downfall? Is it because it punches people in the face?
Or is it because
it definitely helps.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. One of the, actually a pretty funny story is that we didn't schedule the single release at first. We were very lucky to win a song recording in Belgium. And we wrote the single specifically for that. The bass was already made, but that's when we decided to release the single.
Because originally it would probably have been part of our next bigger release, but because we had the opportunity to do a single, we chose this song specifically to be the single.
Yeah, and I think it worked out pretty well, especially when you look at the situation at this time. It matched in a pretty good way, ironically.
Mm-hmm. It sure has. Now, if you dug the track Downfall and you want to get into those choruses, into those lyrics, you can do so by checking out the lyric video, which is available on today's show notes at www.therockandrollpodcast.ca. Now, something that was mentioned previously was the Reach for the Stars EP. So
Reach for the stars. Reach for the stars, those.
And something you had mentioned was that there's this broader story that encompasses the EP, it encompasses the future tracks to come. So take us through this track. It's the title track. Does it start the story?
This is the first track of the story, as well as the first track we released, obviously, because only Reach for the Stars out of the EP is part of the overarching story. And this song is, I think, I wrote it a while back, so it's been working. We've been working on it for a while, but we sort of turned it into a larger story, and then we thought that this was the track that we needed to do for the EP.
Okay, carry on. What am I reaching for the stars for? What they're my hopes, they're my dreams, but later on I have a downfall. I don't win.
Exactly.
This is terrible.
It's like Downfall. It's a two-part a two-sided story. It's both a story about our planet being done, like basically it can no longer support us, the human beings, so we have to leave it to find a new home. But at the same time, it's also a story of trying to find it in yourself to go and look for something new.
Like on Mars.
I think one of the lines through these songs is that you have hope for your future and you try to build something, but hope always comes with struggle. Working towards something always comes with struggle, unless you're very, very lucky. But it's I think it's a journey that you can take towards your goal. And learning and growing on that journey.
Okay, perfect.
I'll quote a little line from the lyrics because I think that sort of sums it up perfectly. It's no matter what, we'll find a way out. And that's basically the core of the entire story. It's like we have to find a way out. We have to move forward. There's no going back. We can only go forward.
Which is so hopeful until downfall happens.
Exactly, but it's an up and down story. Right?
Beautiful. Now
and the good news is that Downfall isn't the last song of the story. So, well, it's still surprising how it's going to end, but ups and downs.
Exactly. Now, something you mentioned was, Martin, that you've been writing the song for a while. So I guess my question is, maybe it really isn't a question. Just take us through the writing process. How did you guys end up at what became the body of work that you said, cool, this is the Cyanide Paradise sound?
It's basically a collection of ideas that we had collected over the years. And when the bassist, Jeffrey, and I we left our previous band and we wanted to try and find something new. And so we were just looking through the things that we already wrote and the things that we came up with, and we tried to find a new sound in there. And over the course of, I don't exactly know how long, but over the course of some months up to a year, I think, we came to a specific sound that we now use as the main sound for this band.
Okay.
There's just many ideas over the time and just refined until we found something specific that we liked.
Cool. Now, if you want to check out the lyrics to Reach for the Stars, you may do so by going to today's show notes and checking out the lyric video. You can head on over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. Now, the big honking question on everybody's mind is, okay, we've had the downfall. How depressing. Where do we go from here? What's next? What's happening next in the... I was trying to think of how to say paradise in the adjectival sense. Paradisical world. Anyway, what's happening next in the paradise? And I'm going to look up how to say paradise in it's an adjective.
Parasital? I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's a positive word.
No, that doesn't sound very good either. Yeah. I think the plan for right now is that we're continuing to work on the songs that we've been working on for the next couple of releases. And we are going to at least continue the story of this song and also do some other songs that have different stories aside from that. So it's not just going to be this one story. And we're just going to slowly get something together, because we have some ideas of when we want to launch something, but Corona obviously put a little bit of a change in schedule on that.
Mm-hmm. Paradisiacal.
Yeah, I think you can say that the situation as it is put a hold on some things. I know that we just had our first live gig, like one day after the release of the Downfall single, and that also was the last live gig that we had since everything was shut down.
Uh-huh.
So we're very curious to know, and really enthusiastic to play in front of an audience again. And next to that, also rehearsals, everything's really non-existent at this moment. You can talk a bit through Skype or other programs, but that's about it. So it's difficult to make a planning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now, speaking of which, since you mentioned there's quite a few things that are currently not active, and this is normally the time of the year where we would chat about all those wonderful things. Is there any other news that you wanted to chat about? This episode will air about a month from now, but is there anything that I missed that maybe you guys want to throw out there?
That's a good question. I think regarding the single that you had most of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we have more songs coming. That's basically it. We're working on it, and schedules permitting, we'd like to release something this year if everything goes well.
Okay.
I hope, obviously, to return to the stage this year as well, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We hope to get there.
Perfect. All right. Well, gang, thank you so much then for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.